art psychotherapy, I understand, is new in Russia, but in Britain the idea of art psychotherapy has been around for about 100 years, and it started with people understanding that art was a useful curative in hospitals, especially, for example, in Bedlam Hospital in London, where they realised that by working with the art object and art materials, people actually gained a benefit in terms of their mental health. So I actually came to art psychotherapy through quite a convoluted route. I'd always wanted to be an artist, and I found as I grew up through the education system that I wanted to study art but wasn't allowed to because I had to go and do an academic career. So I went and studied literature but maintained my art practice as well, and found that art psychotherapy was where my interests met, and came to it later after going back and doing a second degree in art and finding that I was doing a lot of voluntary work overseas and working with disadvantaged populations, and realised that using the art means and materials was really something that was very important and very significant for me. So I decided I would train, and started my training in Barcelona, where I happened to be living at the time, just at its beginnings, and then did my full training in London and carried on working in England. I now work in England and internationally as well. So art psychotherapy is for everyone. There is nobody who can or should be excluded from using art for therapeutic means, but in terms of art psychotherapy itself, it does need a trained art psychotherapist to work effectively and also safely with the client or the patient. So art psychotherapy tends to be used in hospitals where you have people who are severely unwell and suffer from different types of mental illness, and these people have been proven to work very effectively with art as a means of communication of rather difficult emotional and complex feelings as well. And also in the community, art psychotherapy works extremely well with outpatients as well as particular client groups, so learning disabilities, veterans, refugees. There are all sorts of classes and community activities that it will incorporate an art psychotherapist for therapeutic purposes and also for art psychotherapy sessions. Okay, so the process of art psychotherapy in museums and galleries is relatively new in the UK and has come about really because of a meeting of minds in terms of museums' needs, which in the past 10 years or so have had to consider community engagement and had to consider how they work with society in a more inclusive manner. This has combined extremely well for art psychotherapists who are looking at innovative ways of practice and innovative forms of working with their population. So they're very interested in finding other environments in which to work, and the museum environment is one of these, which works extremely well because it gives us access to collections which can then be used to incorporate another sense apart from the visual in terms of handling, and also in terms of the environment which is within the art world and allows the populations who are being worked with for mental health issues to be in an environment that really is conducive to working with art materials as well. And there are many museum workers who are interested in bringing in different groups of society nowadays to work together for mental health purposes, and so art psychotherapists have been really helpful in getting this underway too. Yes, I think you can, but more than happy actually. I think it's a place that is conducive to understanding the self and a sense of identity in a way that perhaps other environments aren't. It allows you the opportunity to find a sense of self in relation to art objects and how they relate to your own history, culture and your heritage, be that personal or generalised as well. So being happy in a museum is in part one element, but also feeling more fulfilled in terms of sense of self and identity. It allows for a more complete sense of who you are in society through engaging with art objects and artefacts. For me is juggling all the different aspects of the forum, which is incredibly energetic and has a huge investment in terms of different functions going on. So I think I will go away with a rainbow of impressions, both in terms of the types of museum that are showcasing here, but also the incredible work being done by colleagues who I've met on stage and also in social activities as well. And an impression that this is an area that could really be developed and people are very excited about. So a very positive attitude is what I will eventually go away with as well, and hope to be back.